Now, Tupac grew up with Mutulu as one of his top mentors. Geronimo Pratt was in jail on a frame-up, but was another of his top mentors. And that's why, of course, Anafeni, his mom, was a top mentor, and that's why he had such a revolutionary mindset. He was asked by a priest when he was 13 years old, what do you want to be when you grow up? And he said, a revolutionary. And I think he never lost that mindset. He just changed his tactics. By the time he was 17, he was incredibly precocious, for one thing. Professor Michael Eric Dyson said that he had read hundreds and hundreds of PhD-level books before he got out of his teen years. He would take Shakespeare plays, rewrite them, and produce them and star in them, in California. And he was also incredibly well respected to the point that he was the youngest ever elected chair of the New African Panthers, which was the young adult group of the New African People's Organization. It was active in 8 cities nationwide. And it was about the same ages as many of the original Black Panthers when they started the Black Panthers across the country. So it was a very serious group that he was running, activist group that he was running. So he was already a black activist leader, national black activist leader, before he broke into rap.
I like to think of myself as really being socially aware.
Kept my history a mystery, but now I see the American dream wasn't meant for me. Because Lady Liberty, the hypocrisy lies for me. Promise of freedom, education, equality.
I think there should be a class on drugs. There should be a class on sex education, a real sex education class. There should be a class on police brutality. There should be a class on apartheid.
Panther power.
There should be a class on why people are hungry, but they're not. Their class is on gym. Physical education. Let's learn volleyball.
Fathers of this country never cared for me. They kept my ancestors shackled up in slavery. And Uncle Sam never did a damn thing for me. Except lie about the facts in my history. Now I'm sitting here, man, because I'm unemployed. Plus the government glad, because they enjoy when my people are down so they can screw us around. Time to change the government now. No more.
So after he got out of the Panthers, he broke into rap with Digital Underground. Digital Underground invited him for a tour. And he decided to leave his Panther leadership to do that because he thought maybe he could have a bigger mouthpiece and more influence as a rapper.
I thought, we're not being taught to deal with the world as it is. I think that rich people should live like poor people and poor people should live like rich people, and it should change every week.
We're just gonna start slowly but surely taking our communities back. Regulate our community. Organize. We need to start taking care of our own. We gotta start somewhere. And I don't know about anything else, but this, to me, was the start.
What is the message, though?
The message is that we're coming. All the people you threw away, the dope dealers and the criminals, they will be legit sitting next to you in first class, thanks to your boy. I organized the OGs in the East Coast and the West Coast and the penitentiaries to come up with codes of ethics for criminals. It's called the Code of Thug Life. It's a code putting order to the violence on the streets. In Watts, Compton, Chicago, wherever. We got all these people all over the country saying, yes, we go by this code. We're going to be against attacks on people that are not involved with the street gang, with the drug trade, or the illegal business at all. You know, all that kidnapping and shooting drive-bys out the car. We're against that.
I think gangs can be positive. It just has to be organized and has to steer away from being self-destructive to being self-productive. I think this country was built on gangs. You know, I think this country still is run on gangs. Republicans, Democrats, the police department, the FBI, the CIA, those are gangs. You know what I mean? The correctional officers. I had a correctional officer tell me straight up, we the biggest gang in New York State. Straight up, you know what I mean? So, this whole country is built on gangs. We just have to not be so self-destructive about it. Organize, you know. If you got somebody dealing drugs in the community, make them pay for the community center. And if they don't want to listen, then you turn against them. You know what I mean? If we so strong as gangs and as hustlers and as G's and as thugs or whatever, it should be no rapes, there should be no violence, there should be no gunshots in our community unless we the ones sparking it, unless we doing that to somebody that's trying to infiltrate or break down our community. All this money that we make in the streets, we should bring it back and turn it back into the community. We need to have block parties again. We need to have leagues, you know, summer leagues and football teams, basketball teams. We need to start taking care of our own. That's how it can be positive. It can be positive when we start sending these young G's to school, sending the younger G's to college. You know, let them come back and build something. Gotta start peeping game peeping the game. The game is the game of life. You got to start peeping how they're doing it. And if you see it, you can see the little signs that says that the guns are turning away from, you know, Europe and Russia and Iran and Iraq, and they're turning to us. You have to be logical. You know, if I know that in this hotel room they have food every day, and I'm knocking on the door every day to eat, and they open the door, let me see the party, let me see like them throwing salami all over I mean, just like throwing food around, but they're telling me there's no food in here. You know what I'm saying? Every day. I'm standing outside trying to sing my way in. You know what I'm saying? We are hungry, please let us in. We are hungry, please let us in. After about a week, that song is going to change to, we hungry, we need some food. After 2-3 weeks, it's like, you know, give me all the food, breaking out the door. And after a year, and you just like, you know what I'm saying, I'm picking the lock, coming through the door, blasting, you know what I'm saying? It's like you hungry, you reached your level, you don't want any more. We asked 10 years ago. We was asking with the Panthers. We was asking with them, you know, with civil rights movement. We was asking, you know, now those people that were asking, they're all dead and in jail. So now what do you think we're gonna do? Ask? If we do want to live the thug life and the gangster life and all of that, okay, so stop being cowards and let's have a revolution. But we don't want to do that. Dudes just want to live a character. They want to be cartoons. But if they really wanted to do something, they was that tough. All right, let's start our own country. Let's start a revolution. Let's get out of here. Let's do something. But they don't want to do that. There's too much money here. I mean, nobody should be hitting lotto for 36 million and we got people starving in the streets. That is not idealistic. That's just real. That is just stupid. There's no way Michael Jackson should have, or whoever Jackson, should have $1 million, $1 billion and then there's people starving. There's no way. There's no way that these people should own planes and their people don't have houses, apartments, shacks, drawers, pants. I know you're rich. I know you got $40 billion, but can you just keep it to one house? You only need one house. And if you only got 2 kids, can you just keep it to 2 rooms? I mean, why have 52 rooms if you know there's somebody with no room? It just don't make sense to me.
You know those little things they have for the mice, where they go through around a circle, there's little blocks for it and everything? Well, society is like that. They'll let you go as far as you want. But as soon as you start asking too many questions and you're ready to change, boom, their blocker comes.
I'm learning a lot about people's innermost fears in this trial because it's not even about my trial no more. It's just about loud rap music, tattoo having thugs. It's not even about me no more. It's about, you know, some nightmare that these people having.
She's talking about thug life and all that, trying
like, to... he's definitely guilty. Anybody with thug life tattooed on their stomach is guilty. What type of reasoning is that? You know what I'm saying? We got different backgrounds. We come from 2 different places. It's like MTV, all the papers, they building me up. Now they destroying me on the same image that they perpetuated. You know what I'm saying? I'm selling records. This is what I do for a living. I'm selling records. Don't get it twisted. This is not my real life. This is not how my real life is supposed to be. I'm not supposed to be really having all these villains in my life. I'm not supposed to be having, you know, the Philadelphia, I can't do shows. Everybody's already, I'm guilty. Even though the only crime I've been convicted of is fighting, hitting somebody in the face with my fists, ever. Only crime. But I can't even go to Philly, I can't go to Texas, I can't go nowhere. I can't go nowhere, so.
You're maintaining your innocence.
I'm maintaining my innocence. Because I'm loud, I didn't shut up. But I didn't think they was gonna take it this serious. Me keep talking out, I didn't think it was gonna be a matter of life and death.
This go out to C. Dolores Tucker, Bob Dole, anybody else that feel like they stronger than the Constitution. Freedom of speech, big baby.
You can't break me, never make me bust a softer beats. This outlaw style got a brother off the streets. Mr. Laura Tucker, sue me, I won't stop till we get justice for these crooked cops on my block.
To me, he's an activist. He was an activist, an activist, an activist. He wasn't just no rapper, he was an activist. This ain't no democracy. Pac knew that the elite was paying the government, the elite on the government, on the president, everybody else. Pac was talking about that shit and they didn't want to hear that shit. They didn't want no young black brother telling these black people in the ghetto that your strings is being pulled by a committee of 300.
I'm focusing on changing the world, whatever I can do to achieve more, to be a better person, to make more money, and to get myself to a position in this business where I don't have to take as many orders and I can give a few and I can give back. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm setting out one lone young black male with the stack against me against the world with about 30 cases. They're all getting dropped, and then I'm going to take the world over.